Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Times Now with me, Priya Bahal. The story that we are tracking for you right now comes in on the basis of an article that has been published in an international publication but has had a lot of impact in India's domestic politics. It's not for the first time, however, that a foreign media has maligned India's image. At this time, once again, it is the New York Times. An opinion piece in the New York-based newspaper has targeted Modi government and has threatened that Kashmir has for long weathered instability, but it may not survive Narendra Modi. Leading the charge against this misinformation campaign against India is Union Minister Anurag Thakur, who today tweeted and launched an unsparing attack on the publication, calling it blatant lies on press freedom in Kashmir. He says that the New York Times has dropped all pretensions of neutrality against India and the so-called opinion piece is mischievous and fictitious. The NDA has called it a systematic attempt to peddle lies about our democracy and pluralistic society. But what exactly led to this retort from the Union Minister? Now, an opinion piece was written by an author called Anuradha Bhasin of the Kashmir Times. This has sparked this controversy. In her op-ed, she says that the repressive media policies are destroying Kashmiri journalism and media outlets are intimidated into serving as government mouthpieces. She's also alleged that the government is creating information vacuum in the region of 13 million inhabitants and Kashmir may not survive Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The op-ed also goes on to allege that digital media amendments have been made to block content that the Modi government does not like. These are just some of the claims that have been made in this op-ed against the Indian government. Now, the BJP has come out calling it a motivated campaign, alleging that some people are going out of their way to snatch Kashmir from India.
इस प्रकार की अटेम्प्ट्स पहले भी होती रही हैं। आज जिस प्रकार से कश्मीर में सही इंफॉर्मेशन लोगों को मिलती है, तो मुझे लगता है कि ये एक एजेंडा रहता है भारत के खिलाफ प्रचार करने का
कि ना केवल वो एक जमीनी सच्चाई से बहुत दूर की बातें हैं, गलत प्रोपोगंडा है, बल्कि देश के प्रधानमंत्री के खिलाफ भी एक सोचे समझे तरीके से चलाई हुई साजिश है। न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स ने पहले भी ऐसे बहुत बार भारत के खिलाफ प्रोपोगंडा रचा है और इसके पीछे वो लोग हैं जिनका मकसद हमेशा से ही कश्मीर को भारत से अलग दिखाने का रहा है।
I can very well understand the problem of newspapers like New York Times because the way Modi ji is gaining popularity in the entire world, this is indigestible to some of the newspapers. Because he's had not only making India terrorist free, he's going to make this entire globe terrorist free. And terrorists who used to lay down their terms and dictate their terms to some of the newspapers are now finding it impossible to fight with Modi ji and his ideology of a terrorist free world.
Now, why does the BJP and Union Minister Anurag Thakur think that this article is nothing but one-sided biased representation of views in an international publication? We have done a point-by-point analysis of the claims made in that article and look at the counters that we have come up with. This article hails separatist Syed Ali Shah Gilani, but it does not mention how National Conference accused Gilani of being on ISI payroll, being funded by an agency in Pakistan. What it also does not mention is that SAS Gilani was charged for sedition in 2010. Why does then NYT think that an article deserves him to be praised? Then a case of FEMA violation was also registered against Syed Ali Shah Gilani in 2019. Now moving on to another claim. It equates BBC's survey to suppression of freedom of media, but it does not mention the facts and reasons behind that survey. IT department sources said that BBC was non-compliant with the rules of the land, that they were hiding some facts with them. They were non-compliant with the transfer pricing rules. The amount of money that they were taking for their services was not in keeping with the rules. Deliberate diversion of amounts for profit. And remember, at this point, several people in media as well as the British Foreign Secretary had said that they stand with India's position that law of land is same for everyone, whether it is a domestic publication or a foreign one. Then the third claim. It says thousands of homes have been bulldozed, but makes no mention that Ashik Nehru, one of the people whose home has been demolished, was because it had been found to be illegal, and Nehru is an accused in the dastardly Pulwama attack that took lives of 40 Indian soldiers. Then it also does not mention Ghulam Nabi Khan's house, that was also razed. This is another person who was in the crosshairs of Indian law and order agencies. He is a designated terrorist under UAPA. These are some of the claims that we have found that are factless, just rhetoric. And now Rajagopalan joins me, as well as Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, what really do you make of Anurag Thakur's rebuttal of NYT article?
First I want to apologize because time I confirm what hours.
Jha, we'll come back to you in a bit. We'll probably give you an opportunity to park your car by the side. But Mr. Rajagopalan, what are your first comments on this matter?
Anurag Thakur comment is absolutely right. Anurag Thakur has articulated the subject because he is Minister for Information and Broadcasting. Apart from that, the Kashmir Times written, the central page article written by Madam Anuradha Bhasin is totally irrelevant because, Madam, Jammu Kashmir Public Service Commission conducted test examination in Jammu and Kashmir. The Satish Chandra, a retired IAS officer who was private secretary to Chandrababu Naidu, Andhra Pradesh cadre, is now the chairman of the JK Public Service Commission. I know him very well. He is conducting exams. Second thing, great Rahul Gandhi, after completion of Padayatra, Bharat Jodo Yatra, with his sister Priyanka Gandhi, had a snow scooty. Third, delimitation commission went through the Jammu Kashmir and also other parts of this. Judges visited. After demonetization, no stone throwing incident. So these are all 5-6 important aspects which show that democracy is in condition in Jammu Kashmir. As the article says, and also that is reflected in the New York Times, these are all paid articles, paid by the George Solis and the ecosystem in India, including the Congress Party, including the, Rahul Gandhi, who spoke in the Cambridge, because he is misleading the country. That is not misled. There are videos propagated by certain elements. Rahul Gandhi was cross-questioned why television media is not printing that or publishing that or telecasting it. So therefore, Public Service Commission exam conducted in Jammu Kashmir is a glaring example that democracy is in position in Jammu Kashmir. Let Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi go and again have a snow scooter, everything. That shows they are brand ambassadors of Kashmir. They are brand ambassadors of Narendra Modi peace. 370 abrogation.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, completely fact-free article which almost tantamounts to paid propaganda that is aimed to malign India's image abroad.
I think that's outrageous rubbish. Firstly, I want to apologize because from the time I confirmed being on your program, unfortunately, I've had to be on the road, which is why, there will be some disturbance. So I really want to apologize to you for it. But let me just make my point very quickly. India is not as weak a country as the BJP likes to paint it to be. This is a resilient democracy. And if it is, then you've got to take your criticism on your chin. And I think the larger point that we need to understand here is you can't have Mr. Modi and the BJP tom-tomming to the whole of a country that we're getting FDI from the US and the UK, but I don't want to listen to the criticism that comes to me from the New York Times or the Washington Post or the Guardian or the BBC or any other newspaper or magazine. You can't have your cake and eat it too. More important, I think this government is so intolerant that it has made India into a monumental joke abroad. Do you know that now people are not just calling India a flawed democracy, they are calling it as a country which is becoming autocratic and the fastest autocratizing nation in the world.
We heard it was Rahul Gandhi saying all that. Who are the other people who are calling it that? Because most of the international leaders that we've heard in the recent past have actually hailed India as a democracy.
No, I don't think you are aware of what Anthony Blinken said about religious freedom in India. You will also remember what Barack Obama said about communal, intolerance in India when he came visiting as a guest during the Republic Day parade.
Okay.
So, this is something that is known all over the world.
Okay, just a quick rebuttal, 30 seconds from Mr. Rajagopalan. I've just run out of time. Mr. Rajagopalan.
I would like to remind Mr. Sanjay Jha, the great articulate, the Congress suspended member. Today, what Albanese Anthony, the Australian Prime Minister, has spoken about India. It's a developing country. It's a country in the 5th position in the world economy.
Right.
They have done extremely well. There was kudos to Mr. Narendra Modi.
Since Mr. Jha mentioned Anthony Blinken, let me quote him from July 2021. He said that India has the largest expression of free political will in the world, is what he said, as opposed to what New York Times article intends to portray. Thank you, gentlemen. I've unfortunately completely run out of time. We take a very quick break.